All right, there are a couple of things I want to point out in the WHQR article written by Rachel Keith that I didn't cover in my other video talking about student success rates being added to instructor evaluations. Rachel included this chart, and I want to break it down for you. So this chart shows you grade distributions in all classes, taken at community colleges that are transfer classes. In other words, a university would take this class as a transfer credit. At the top is CFCC, so these are all students in the state of North Carolina enrolled at community colleges. At the bottom is CFCC. So when you look at this color gradation, the darkest blue is A, then the next lightest is B, the next lightest is C. If you look at 2020-2021 school year, which is on this side, you can see that about 39% of students in CFCC classes got A's. And that's pretty much in line with what North Carolina community colleges on average saw with grades, which is still a grade inflation. If you know, you know. And then when we look all the way down 5 years from there to 24-25, so if you look at the far end, you can see specifically that this number jumps significantly. Nearly 10% more folks were getting A's in CFCC classes than they were 5 years ago. And again, if you look at the top, you can see there's a little more creeping grade inflation overall in the state. But CFCC's is quite pronounced, and I believe you can attribute that directly to pressure from admin to push students through. The other thing I wanted to point out was a throwback to an article that Rachel wrote in 2023, and she references in this article as well. She talked about a school board meeting for New Hanover County schools where they discussed success rates for dual enrolled students. Those are students who are high school students, but they're also taking college level classes. And there was some significant information given about students who are taking classes at CFCC. They asked a couple of AP teachers to come and talk to the school board. Now, AP, advanced placement, are students who are higher performing, who are in their classes. Both of these instructors said they had serious concerns about CFCC classes and the lack of rigor. They were noticing specifically in math classes students were taking at CFCC, when they came back to the high school, those teachers were observing in their classes that those students were not prepared well. So both of these teachers said flat out that they were concerned about how academically rigorous CFCC classes were, because these students were taking college classes coming back to the high school unprepared for high school level classes. I think the evidence is pretty clear that instructors are being pressured by administration to pass students through classes and to essentially dumb down the material to make sure they do.